Hello, Transformers and Blokees fans. This is Speedbar Hall, and today for you guys, I have you in the latest edition of the Transformers Blokees Galaxy Defenders series. We have for you today the Volume 2 version of the Defenders series. And my friends, this is indeed a fun series to check out because not only are these, well, pint-sized formers fun to play around with, just as their previous volume was. But this volume, we of course have more characters added to it from the previous volume, and some surprises that we can now confirm with this series. And that is, for those who remember in the previous video I did, and many others who have as well, we all noticed that the pre-volume 1 line introduced both bots and vehicle support units like you see here. And in the first volume, we all noticed that we got a set of, Constructicons in it, which was interesting because a number of fans noticed that the Constructicon vehicle of Scavenger happened to notice that, well, it was odd because it actually had ports on the sides of it, underneath it and on the side, which a number of fans were figuring out that maybe down the road, Blokees has plans to work on a Devastator release. Well, I have good news for you, friends, because in the first volume, we couldn't really confirm it yet. It was only theoretical. Well, now we can, my friends. Yes, Blokees has fully announced that in the next volume of the Defenders series, we will be getting the remaining components needed to complete a Galaxy Series Defender scale Devastator with the ones you get in this volume in the previous volume. So yes, my friends, if you're hoping for a new combiner to your collection, if you're in your Blokees collection, well, good news, friends, we're going to be getting one in the next release, which I cannot wait for. But for today, though, my friends, let us take a look at Volume 2's fun and interesting units we have to play with. Now, another fact to note with this series, my friends, is that for those who aren't aware of this, the difference between this volume style and the standard Galaxy volumes is that, well, in these volumes, we actually get 12 units in the release than that of the regular 9 units we get with the standard scale Blokees units, which makes sense because of the size difference. But another note fact is that, as now we've seen with this series, in this volume, pretty much every one of the Defender volumes are going to come with not one, but 4 rarities that you can get, or at least 4 rare variations, and usually based off of at least 2 characters, like you see here. More specifically, of course, as you can see right here with Bumblebee and Starscream. So yes, in this volume, the rares you can pull are all related to those 2 specific characters. And the interesting part is that it's not just rares in a sense, it is both rare and super rare. And in this case, the super rares are pretty much like metallic versions of the standard unit you'll get in this set, but with an additional gimmick of an armor gimmick with like weapons, or in the case of Starscream, a certain king-like cloak look, if you catch my drift. And the standard rare versions will just be recolors of course, the character in either like a metallic variant, or in this volume's case, as I got, a certain character variant, which, as you can see, I pulled the Shattered Glass Bumblebee, which is nice, don't get me wrong, because as we've also seen with this series, we're also getting more Galaxy Shattered Glass units from this and the standard Galaxy stuff, which is really cool. I like it. It's fun. Plus, in this case, it, ironically matches up pretty nicely with the Volume 1 Gold Bumblebee, which is another note to, of course, mention as well, which we don't know specifically why, but as we've seen with 2 volumes so far, we are also getting a golden variant character, as we saw here with Soundwave. Yes, this is just, it's not a rare pull, guys. This is just the standard unit version. So I would assume that in the next volume, since as we saw here with Volume 1 Bumblebee, that for Volume 3, outside of the Constructicon stuff, we will probably see a standard Soundwave, a metallic Soundwave, or a recolor character Soundwave deal, either Shattered Glass, or I have a feeling a certain Blaster, if you catch my drift, and a probable or possible Armor Soundwave. Now, that one, I don't know what he'll look like if in this case, because as we saw here with the Bumblebee version, it is actually very interesting because the armored up version, I can't think of any variation of it that matches a Bumblebee that I know of, because he comes with a sword and a like a Cybertronian energy shield, which looks awesome. Yes, we just don't know what it's based on, or at least that I can think of. I could be wrong, but I can't think of any that matches it. But yeah, it's very interesting, and like I said, the chances are the next volume, Soundwave, will get the same treatment that Bumblebee and our, well, Seeker Commander got. Well, yes, it is very interesting, guys, and yes, these little guys are a lot of fun to play around with, and a lot of fans have been enjoying them because their scale is really fun to play with your standard versions and even just your regular Transformer toys. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm more than certain that these little guys would be perfectly scaled for a Titan class figure. So yes, if you have a Titan figure, go on and have some fun. But yes, these little guys are a lot of fun to play with, very easy to build, very fun to play around with. And as I've already mentioned with the volume for the next release, we are now confirming, or at least can theoretically confirm, that for future releases, that combiners will be Defender scale units. At least my best guess, because for a while, a lot of fans were wondering when we might get a combiner and such, and yeah, that includes myself. Originally, I had hoped we would see like Action Edition scale combiners, but I think this version actually makes more sense in ways because, for one, the Action Edition would have been cool for the size and articulation stuff, but being that you can't actually combine it, some fans probably wouldn't like that deal. Plus, these versions seems to be a little more easier and like a more less costly version to do, because in a sense, all they're doing is just making these special vehicle units, as you can see here with Hook's version. And as you can see, yes, he has ports throughout every part of him that would connect to certain parts for other reasons. And yes, fully articulated, just like other vehicle units we've gotten. And like we see here with Bone Crusher's alt mode, fully articulated, and look, ports again. So that would at least tell me that the chances are down the road we will see other vehicle combiner teams, which will be very interesting and awesome, because that probably could mean we'll finally start seeing like aerial bots, Stunticons, Combaticons, and heck, you never know, maybe some Shattered Glass versions, maybe some IDW versions, who knows. I mean, it'd be awesome to get certain teams. And honestly, I'm sort of hoping another concept, or at least a theory I could suggest, is that since we're getting with these Constructicons now, besides the fact that obviously they're going to, of course, come with these little versions, I would assume that because since the standard Galaxy version now has the complete team, that I'm assuming that for future combiner sets, that whatever the standard Galaxy volumes, complete a team of, that we'll probably see a Defenders setup for the combiner later on, I would assume, or at least, just fun guess. So, I mean, if that were the case, I would say that after the next couple of Galaxy volumes, I am hoping that down the road that we could maybe see a Galaxy Defender scale of the Dinobots, leading into, of course, a Defender scale Volcanicus. I think that would be awesome. I mean, maybe that's just me, but I really do hope that's the case, because then there's just so many other possibilities we could see. I don't know, friends. That's just, like I said, a fun guess. I'm hoping for. But if there are any combiners you guys would love to see do in the Defender scale, please share your thoughts below. But for right now, let's take a look at all of our individual units now. Enough of me talking, right? Let's start with our old buddy Inferno. Yes, we have him in this very mini version. It is just so cool to see him like this. It's awesome. I like it. It's fun, and of course, and the coolest part is that his vehicle alt mode's in here too. Now, unlike the Constructicons, there aren't any ports on this version on them to combine with. Sorry, but you can, however, take the nozzle part here out if you want to give him his nozzle arm part. Sorry, which is pretty cool and a very interesting idea they did there for that. If not, just plug his hand back and such. And if you're wondering, yes, the vehicles do have some articulation, or wheel articulation, pretty much. It's simple, little wheels here. It's fun, like that. And as you can see over here, yes, we also got Bumblebee to go with the other Bumblebee units. Now, if you're wondering, yes, this is still the same mold we got from Volume 1, which is pretty much, as many fans have noticed, a very Transformers animated style version. And yeah, it's just in a solid plastic version than the clear version we got. And yes, you can detach this cannon if you want to attach it to Bumblebee if you would like. And besides that, of course, as you can see with all the other characters we got here, besides the ones I've mentioned, we also have recolor characters of Optimus into Ultra Magnus. Yes, this is fun to have mini Cab Magnus. I'm hoping we'll see Armored Magnus at a point. Or you never know, maybe some fans out there will design a Defender scale armor that you can put him in. That would be so cool to see. Let's see, who else? And as I mentioned before, like in Volume 1, we also have a Shattered Glass Iron Hide, which is interesting. I mean, it's a common recolor deal, and I'm assuming at a point we'll see this retooled, of course, for Ratchet, leading into a Shattered Glass Ratchet at some point as well. But it's cool to see him like this. It's fun. And of course, if you're a Shattered Glass fan. But we also have some new ones too in this volume, like our good buddy and mad scientist Wheeljack. And yeah, he's really cool. His shoulder pack does move, if you were wondering. And I'm assuming later on we'll see recolors for him as well. I haven't taken a guess on that one. And like you saw already with Bone Crusher, he's got a giant head. I don't know, just his head looks really big for this body, but it's fun. It's just a fun little gimmick. And of course, with the next volume, I'm assuming we will also get the remaining robot mode versions of the Constructicons. I assume. I'm taking a guess on that one because Blokees confirmed the vehicles for Devastator, but there was really no mention about the bots, so I can't say on that part, guys. Just a bit of heads up. So yeah, other than that, and yeah, that's pretty much it here, guys, my friends. And yeah, I mean, this is a fun volume to play around with. Oh, and before I forget, sorry, I always forget these. Each one of these volumes comes with one of these special coins that have been retooled for 3 versions you can pull. It's not guaranteed because there's also a trading card you can get too, but it's just, random kind of deal. It's never guaranteed, but it's a fun little, gimmick, little fun thing. I mean, I got Bumblebee, so that's pretty cool. But yes, that is that, my friends. So yes, do I recommend Volume 2 of the Defenders series? Definitely. But I also, now that we know other information now, I definitely have to recommend you pick up both Volumes 1 and 2 in this case. And of course, I can't say just yet, but I would definitely say Volume 3 down the road for fans who are, of course, excited for the new Devastator release. And I cannot wait because we've already seen the prototype for him and he looks really cool. And yes, he's going to come with everything we need to complete him. So I cannot wait. In fact, I already have plans for a, let's just say, a fun custom idea I want to do. But that's another story for friends. But yes, that is it for today, my friends. I thank you always for coming. I do hope you're enjoying your hobby and in this case, your Blokees addiction. And I will hopefully see you all next time.